Hey guys, it is Echo here, and I am back for another 911 Lone Star episode review. Today we're going to be talking about Season 5, Episode 3, titled Cl2. Now if you're curious what that stands for chlorine gas, and that is a big problem we face in this week's episode. So let's watch some scenes and chat.
Come on! All right, Marjan, it's set. Now get down now!
Now that was all time, Barge.
Well, that was a hell of a stunt. You should feel thankful you pulled it off.
About that, Cap. When I said my gear was holding up, I lied.
So after the explosion, it appears that all of the 126 walked away okay. That can't be said for the other firefighters. However, the major issue here is that a piece of shrapnel has hit the chlorine gas train car, causing a leak which creates a poisonous cloud of death. The scene we just saw is Marjan risking her life to seal the hole. Even when Owen is yelling at her to stand down, Marjan is staying up there. Marjan is resilient, and she knows that this gas cloud will get way worse if she can't cover the hole. So she stays, even if that means her hands get burned. After this, I would definitely say she has just secured her spot as lieutenant, and I think Paul would agree.
Punched her ticket to the next lieutenant of the 126.
No, you don't know that.
Come on. You just saved the day by plugging that leak.
I didn't save the day. There's still a cloud of doom floating around.
Marjan, you earned it. And I'll tell you what, when Cap makes his announcement, I'm gonna be so happy for you. And I mean that.
I know you do. Thanks.
And you know what? How many people get to say that they work for their best friend? Their bestie.
I really absolutely adored this scene between Paul and Marjan. You know, every day they risk their lives, and you never know, they may never make it home. So I think for them, they realized after Marjan risked her life that no matter who gets lieutenant, their friendship will always remain the most important. The friendships on the show is really something that drew me in and made me fall in love with the show in the first place. I'm definitely going to miss these friendships when the show ends. Now after they chat, Paul notices a hat, leading him to find the boy that was riding the train to get to his brother. That is when we finally see Paul step up and show his strengths, which ultimately leads to the end of the show where Owen names the new lieutenant. Let's watch.
We're still open. It is because of him that that kid is alive today. His calmness, his presence in the moment, no matter how crazy it gets, that's what you want from your lieutenant. That is why I am officially withdrawing my name from consideration.
Marjan, wait, you can't do that.
I so can. Cap, Paul is your guy.
So in the end, Marjan recognizes her shortcomings and drops out of the race, making Paul our new lieutenant. Marjan's willingness to recognize her weaknesses and state that she's not ready to be lieutenant takes a lot of courage. And remember last week how I said Owen should find someone that will make up for his weaknesses? That person is 100% Paul. Marjan and Owen are a lot alike, very much big picture thinkers who jump to danger even if it's reckless to save lives. Paul is different. He's detailed-oriented and a thinker. The difference in strengths between Owen and Paul will definitely make for a great team.
Worried that I would blow everything up, and now that I have, I've blown everything up. With the love of my life.
Does she know that? That she's the love of your life?
Well, I haven't had a chance to tell her since she's been ghosting me.
You will when she walks through that door.
If she doesn't kick my butt first. I gotta be honest with you, man. I'm worried that it's a lost cause.
But you showed up anyway.
Carlos and Trevor, a duo I truly never knew I needed until this episode. Carlos was asked to babysit Tommy's twins because Tommy wasn't speaking to Trevor. However, when Carlos showed up to her house, Trevor was already there. This led to a beautiful chat between Carlos and Trevor about how Trevor's ex-wife wants to meet Tommy and her kids. Carlos is right. The problem isn't so much about the ex-wife meeting them. It's valid for the ex-wife to know who is going to be in her daughter's life. The problem is he waited until she proposed to drop the bomb. Reminds me of when Carlos dropped the bomb that he was married to Iris after TK and him got engaged. Carlos definitely should have told TK sooner. But Carlos and TK worked through it because they love each other. And the same goes for Tommy and Trevor. If they love each other, they will get through this.
Because that gas is coming into this room. And your dad and Gracie are gonna need all that stuff to take good care of my girls.
Wait, don't say that. We're gonna get somebody else, you guys, okay?
No one's coming. We knew that when we decided to stay behind. Wyatt, I need you to promise me something. I need you to promise that you will tell your dad to give my girls all the love.
While Carlos and Trevor are babysitting, T and T are in danger. They were sent to a school to take a look at a little boy with severe chlorine burns. As they were taking care of him, they find out that there is another missing victim. So instead of leaving the school, they stay behind to find the victim, risking their life as the chlorine gas cloud is minutes away from them. They do find the girl, but unfortunately, they were not able to save her. However, now they're trapped in a classroom as the chlorine gas has completely surrounded the building. They realize there is no way out, that this gas is going to fill the room and they will die. This scene of Tommy and Wyatt definitely made me tear up. You really see in this scene how wonderful a mom Tommy is. She doesn't hesitate to make sure Wyatt had all the information he needed to take back to Judd and Grace for them to take care of her girls. But even you also see Tommy is like a mother to TK and Nancy. Tommy didn't hesitate to grab their hands and hold on tight, because they're in this together and they're not alone even when facing death.
Wait. I think it's stopping. It's blowing away.
Told you. I don't think it's the fan.
Thankfully, the wind shifted and the gas cleared out of the room and the paramedics are going to be okay. TK and his little fan, I can't believe he thought the fan saved them. Anyway, so I'm not gonna lie, I had higher hopes for this scene with the paramedics. Ronan had teased that they would be close to death in this episode, but the wind changed in the blink of an eye. I wish Lone Star would have waited a few extra seconds, letting the gas come into the room a little more, while the paramedics hold their breath, waiting for death to come. The timing of the scene didn't create the stress and the worry I was hoping to feel, but I guess we should still be grateful that they're still alive. However, now the gas cloud is heading towards the firefighters.
You are the love of my life, Tommy. I'll do anything to make this work.
Call her. Call Cassandra.
Are you sure?
If today has taught me anything, it's that I would want to know the person who's gonna help raise my girls too.
After everything settles, Tommy returns home and TK is with her because Carlos was babysitting. Y'all, we got our first Tarlos hug of the season. But mainly I want to talk about Tommy here. After her near-death experience, she realized that she would want to know who was taking care of her girls if she wasn't around. So of course it would make sense that Trevor's ex would want the same thing. Didn't I say that in my last episode review? At the end of the day, the request is not that outrageous. It's just frustrating that Trevor waited so long to say something. But again, Tommy and Trevor love each other. They will get through it.
You okay?
Yeah. What the heck was that?
I've no idea. Judd?
Howdy, Cap.
How did you even know to be here?
Well, I heard on the radio X marks the spot, and I figured you could use a push.
Now I mentioned Paul helped them find the boy who was riding the train. But the gas cloud is now heading towards them, right as Owen is trying to get this boy out of the train car he is currently stuck in. Owen forces all the firefighters to get out of danger, but he stays in a last-ditch effort to save the kid. In my opinion, this scene was the most stressful and shocking of the entire episode. I thought Marjan, Paul, and Mateo were the ones that came back with a fire truck to push them out of the way, but nope, it was Judd. Judd still got those firefighter instincts and will always come through for his brothers when they are in danger. So this leads to the final scene I want to watch. Let's check it out.
The 126 family is reunited. After a year's sabbatical, Judd Ryder has returned to be the 126 new
Lieutenant.
Proby.
Proby? Judd is the new Proby.
Based on him being away from the house for a year, those are the department rules. He has to start at the bottom.
And look, y'all don't have to take it easy on me because I'm a 40-year-old probie that's got 10 years more experience than anyone in this room.
Wait, so who's the next?
Okay, I might have been a psychic in my last review, but I definitely made a lot of predictions that came true in this episode. Yes, I said Judd should come back as a probie. I'm excited to see the dynamic with the 126 now that Judd is back, and I feel like there's going to be so much joking around with him. So as of last week, here was my top 5 favorite 911 Lone Star episodes. In number 1, we had 417, Best of Men, and 418, In Sickness and in Health. In number 2, we had 3-4, Push. In number 3, we had 4-9, Roadkill. In number 4, we had 212, The Big Heat. And in number 5, we had 412, Swipe Left. This episode did not make my top 5. It was a really great episode, my favorite so far this season. And if I had a top 10 list, it would definitely be on it. However, my top 5 list is stacked, and this episode didn't leave me as stressed or worried or emotional as I had hoped it would. If they could have held out on some of the scenes a little bit longer to create suspense, I bet this episode would have been in my top 5. Now, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments below what you thought about the episode Cl2. And stay tuned for next week's 911 Lone Star episode review.